to get on here on WWE 2K18. Started doing some of my downloads of my different characters and title belts, arenas, all the stuff that we can do, and I'm just ready to start up the universe. So you're right here on your play screen. Come up to WWE Universe, select New. And when I get in here, I'm going to go ahead and set this up on slot 1. I like that they have 3 options. It gives you a chance to do some different things. Maybe if you want to do a classic universe, maybe one with just New Japan or something like that. Got plenty of options here. What I'm going to be doing today is setting up Ring of Honor, SmackDown, Raw, 205 Live, NXT, and I'm going to add in possibly New Japan or ECW. I'm still a little undecided on that, folks. So I'm going to take a look at my different characters I've downloaded and see how I could go about making a better roster, and if it's going to be more hardcore guys. I think the Bullet Club would fit in perfect in ECW along with a little ROH partnership, so I'm leaning heavily towards that, especially since a lot of that content is included already on the game here. This is one of the first things I'm going to do in the universe. I have some custom titles downloaded. One of the reasons I do this, if you go to the championships and take a look, say you go to the United States Championship, for example. Days held. You got Lex Luger in the lead there with 948 days. It's going to take a long time through going through the universe to see your guys up top, especially the created wrestlers. I mean, maybe if you're adding, say, to the legacy of Greg Valentine, something like that, you may be able to get up there. But what I'm looking to do is build everything from scratch here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have some matches today, and what we're going to do is set up everywhere I have a custom title. I'm going to set up a match over the first few, and then I'm actually going to get into creating my calendar once I have the titles available and don't have to assign those. So this way it's a earned victory. We're going to do that in some fun ways, maybe some eight-man elimination matches, ladder matches, different things like that. Some of the great wrestlers that are on this really robust roster this year. So obviously we're going to end up, the Universal Championship doesn't have a huge history, but I'm still going to end up getting rid of that. If you take a look, I'm going to go to my custom championships here. I've gone ahead already, made the ECW Tag Team Championships, the ECW World Championship. I like the way that the red background was on that, so I went ahead and changed that. Got the Intercontinental, WCW Championship, WWE Championship, the Cruiserweight Championship, and the WWE Tag Team Championships. I'm an old school wrestling fan. I'm 31 years old, so I'm going with just one championship, and I'm going to have SmackDown be the B show, and just have everybody involved in both. And we're gonna go with that, and I'm gonna have the U.S. title involved in my WCW part of this. So what we're gonna do now is just go in and set up our calendar with the different shows that we're gonna have. So if you go over here to the calendar, so obviously Raw's sticking around, but on the second night we're gonna go ahead and get rid of SmackDown. And I apologize, we're actually gonna go to My Universe, Shows, and this is where we can make the change. So we're going to go ahead and delete SmackDown. We're going to add it back on Thursday night, which is my favorite position for SmackDown. We're going to go ahead and add Monday Night Raw, or I'm sorry, I messed that up. We're going to go ahead and add Monday Nitro, but on Tuesday. Again, really awesome that they have this available already on here. I'm probably going to download some different ones throughout the time that I go through my YouTube channel here. Probably going to add like an updated version, more like the WWE set, and definitely going to work in maybe some Thunder pay-per-views as well to incorporate that. So we're just going to go ahead and change our show name here. to WCW Monday Nitro. Even though it's on Tuesday, I'm just gonna have it set up as Monday Nitro. I'm not gonna worry about changing the the arena to Tuesday or anything like that. We're just keeping it Monday. That's how it was during the Monday Night Wars, and that's how we're gonna keep it now. And this is where I'm gonna house a lot of the veteran or the legends. So anybody really that had any ties to WCW is probably going to go there at least for the first year of the universe. So your Bret Harts, Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash, anybody like that, and that's where we're going to have them. Especially Sting, the main guys at WCW are definitely going there, and I think that's where I'm going to put Jericho and Benoit and any of those guys as well. I'll go ahead and change my music here to the WCW Monday Nitro. I'm going to keep the location actually set as Random USA for right now. I know there was a lot of glitches on last year's game with the location, so I'm going to go ahead and just see how it plays out before I include the entire world in this. Go ahead and change our referee as well to the WCW referee. I don't use any screen filters, backing it up to the 90s or anything like that. I like the graphics that are on here, and just want to keep everything the same and keep it high quality for the YouTube broadcast. And go ahead and change our matchup screen. Again, this is why I'm really excited that again they've included this so that we can have Monday Nitro openings and at least be able to reincorporate WCW into a little bit of our fandom. And while I'm talking, I do realize that tonight is probably the match I've been most excited for in many years. Finn Balor and AJ Styles. I'm going to be wearing my Bullet Club shirt here later on tonight. Great anticipation of that match. We're going to go ahead and pick our WWE designs here. Oh, let me back out and show you guys what I'm doing. This is the show image, so this is what's going to come up in the corner on the TV logos. So right now we got a WWE logo. We're going to go to Arena Images. I got talking about Finn Balor and AJ Styles and got lost in my thought there. So we're going to just scroll through here till we find Monday Nitro. And then we got our watermark image, and that's actually going to be the one I was talking about that shows up there. Sorry guys, this is one of my first times running through this as well. It's going to let you go ahead and position this. So you see where the WWE logo is coming up next to Seth Rollins. This is where it's going to be positioned on the TV screen. I can go ahead and pick the show load of WCW Monday Nitro. And just keep going through this on each one. You're just going to keep picking Nitro. And I'm going to walk you guys through doing pay-per-views and really show you my entire universe that I'm going to have here, which I think is about as robust as it can get, which is awesome, again, with this game. As much as people have been bashing it online, it's not too terrible. The graphics are pretty amazing. Actually looks like somebody just messaged me. I'm interested to see who that was. I'll go ahead and take a look. If I knew how to take a look. If I knew how to take a look, I would. Alright, so apparently the person that has decided to message me wants to use my game. I'm a nice guy. I'm not that nice of a guy. I hope you still end up following me here on YouTube, taking a look at the game. Hope hope Nana there helps you out. But yeah, your name was like Rich Boy. Should probably change that up. We're gonna go ahead here with WCW Monday Nitro. Take a look at our participants and go ahead and add. Which again, great roster from WWE, the biggest roster they've had. Really excited for this game. Haven't gotten too far into it. This 20 download limit is killing me. So I get to download 20 custom people a night, and I'm looking to get to 100 downloaded wrestlers, as many arenas as are available, as many titles as are available, and I'm going to do some of that as well as we go through this. So we're going to go ahead and add anybody, like I said, with WCW ties. Vader. We're going to go ahead and add the Ultimate Warrior. Typhoon. Of course, Tully Blanchard, one of the Four Horsemen. I still got to download an Arn Anderson. I won't forget about him. I may end up adding like Thrasher and Mosh, having some of those guys go to WCW, maybe have some of those tag matches. But we'll go back to that as I go through some of the other options to add people to the roster. Psycho Sid. I'm only going to include one version of each wrestler. So Stunning Steve's not going to make the cut. Obviously, Stone Cold is going to be the guy. We're going to include 99 Sting. I'm a real big fan of 88 and 91 Sting, though, as well. So it's always a tough choice. Do I go Surfer Sting or Crow Sting? More of a Crow Sting for this one, though, because I think he's going to have some great matchups. I want to get some crossovers with Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, guys like that. This is a downloaded Scott Steiner, which I'll show you guys. I'm going to edit. Obviously, he's a overall 100. We're going to take care of that later on. Scott Hall. Got to have the Outsiders on here. We're going to go with Ricky Steamboat 91. I think I'm going to go with the Ric Flair 91. I played with the Ric Flair 88 last night. It wasn't the best looking character model. I like the 91 from last year, and this one looks very similar to that. We're going to go ahead and get the Macho Man in here. Shout out to my cousin Vinny, who's probably dressed up as the Macho Man as we speak, just in anticipation of next week's Arizona State game. We're going to go ahead and add Ravishing Rick Rude, former WCW champion in his own right. I'm going to go ahead and add Owen Hart as well. Have him along with Bret Hart, British Bulldog, guys like that. Kind of add to the WCW roster that way. Mr. Perfect, although he went by Kurt Hennig in WCW, his character, best character is obviously Mr. Perfect. I know the basic character was the same except for that awful run as the West Texas Rednecks, of course. Go ahead and add Lex Luger. No question, WCW is his home. Kevin Nash, another outsider, NWO guy there. You do see here I got 3 Kenny Omegas. I'm just trying to find the best Kenny Omega downloaded character, and that's one of the things I'm going to do on here as well, is just review the characters and let you guys know which ones to download off of here. I got this Kazuchika Okada. Gonna have some matches with those guys here soon in our Ring of Honor that I'm gonna set up. Junkyard Dog, gonna go ahead and put him in WCW as well. Jimmy Garvin, Jim Neidhart. I got some really good downloaded Nasty Boys. They look, their character models look really good. Jeff Jarrett's as well. Go ahead and add Jake the Snake, one of my all-time favorites. I'm gonna call my wife out here right now, and she ruined my Jake the Snake shirt one time, but it's it was a sad tragedy. I got the Iron Sheik. We're gonna go ahead and add him. WCW. Hollywood Hogan. Unfortunate right now we have to download Hulk Hogan, but looks like a really good character model. I know there's controversy, but the guy was WWE, so he's got to be on these games. Got Hawk and Animal. These character models haven't looked great, but I'm going to go ahead and add them for right now so I know what the roster gets to. But I saw some really good Road Warrior ones that I think I'm going to, some old school Road Warrior ones that I think I'm going to download in place of these. I got Greg Valentine. Actually going to go ahead and add Gold Dust as well. I think he'd be a good WCW character. Of course, Goldberg. Eddie Guerrero, I think I'm going to save for ECW. I can go ahead and add Earthquake, though, to team with Typhoon. Dusty Rhodes definitely has to go to WCW. 100% going to download a second outfit for him. I cannot stand the polka dots. It is terrible. He's way better than that. We're going to add DDP 98. Obviously, that was the hottest time of his career. I'm going to go ahead and add Chris Jericho 2000 to WCW. I know he had his best run was in WWE, but I want to see him get a WCW title run here in year one, and then maybe move him over to WWE for year two. As much as I think he's funny now, 2000 better version than the light up jacket Jericho of today. Gonna go with Cactus Jack 90. Oh no, you know what? We're gonna save him for ECW as well. Buddy Roberts will go here. Brutus Beefcake. Hulk Hogan's best friend's got to go where he goes. This is the other Brian, the other Nasty Boy. And go ahead and add the British Bulldog. I'm gonna go ahead and add Bret Hart to this as well. Kind of torn on the two. I think we're going to go at 97. The pink. Booker T, of course. I think the Big Boss Man character fits really good with WCW. But you know what? Let's add the Attitude Era one. Maybe have him more as like close to like an NWO character. I'm gonna save Bam Bam Bigelow here for ECW as well. Animal, of course, team with Hawk. And that's gonna finish out what I have so far for WCW. That gives us a solid 40 wrestlers there. So we have a complete roster. So we'll leave it at 7 matches. And what I'm going to do, and I got ahead of myself here. I didn't get a world champion. So what I'm going to do right now is just add. We can switch this up later. We're just going to go ahead and make the Universal Champion the championship for now. I will change it to the WCW title after I determine a WCW champion on the first night of Nitro. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add in 205 Live to... I wish I had some... maybe if somebody's out there listening, go ahead and comment and say, if you want to get the 205 Live on here, or would rather have ECW and Ring of Honor. So I'm going to go ahead and set up ECW first, because what it's going to do is leave me most likely with Thursday night being 205 Live, but I think I could include it on SmackDown with it being the main title. So we're going to We're gonna work on ECW and ROH here. You guys are kind of getting my stream of thought here as well. We're gonna do a major. For those of you, let me back out here. For those of you that don't know, difference between a major and minor show. Minor show doesn't have to have titles. A major does. So we're gonna go ahead and back out. Go ahead and set up ECW. This is where I'm going to end up having a lot of the New Japan guys, Ring of Honor. Like I said, I think it's going to be more of a combo between ECW and Ring of Honor. I'm going to use any ECW One Night Stands music. What I like to do with ECW is keep it up in the Northeast, like it was. So we're going to go ahead and pick Buffalo, Brooklyn, Long Island, New York City, New York, New York, all the Pennsylvanias, of course. And then I'm going to have a lot of their pay-per-views, of course, out of Philadelphia. And add some, maybe a Florida date or two. Bigger cities here. And that's what I'm going to set up right now for ECW. I could always add. Actually, let's add Detroit. ECW makes some Detroit stops. Now we're going to go ahead and pick our referee again. Go ahead and pick your ECW referee. That's what I'm going to do, at least. I'm going to change the commentary here to just general purpose, so it's not talking about Raw, which I'd probably need to go back and do on Nitro, which is stuff I'll check out as well. I'm going to go ahead and use our arena. I have some downloaded arenas here. And one that I don't have right now is ECW, so we're just going to use One Night Stand. And what I'm going to do is go, after this, I'm going to back out and show you guys some of the downloads I'm going to do today. That's going to be part of our setup here. Where did it go? Here we go. We're just going to keep picking that. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for me to find here. Here we go. So we're just, again, just keeping on adding ECW. One Night Stand. And I mean, it's better to have some background that's at least ECW related than going with something that's not. That's how I feel. But hopefully as it plays out, we'll change some things. If I get some followers, you know, I'll take you guys' suggestions and go ahead and change things up. I'm actually going to use probably a WWE design for this to get a more ECW instead of the One Night Stand. A lot of different design options on here. Well, apparently finding just the ECW logo is going to be harder than I thought, so we're just going to use the ECW One Night Stand one again here. Like I said, just for right now, and I'm going to come back in and edit some of this stuff as I move along through the Dynasty. I'm such a Madden fan, I'm talking about Dynasties. Through the WWE Universe here. This is the boring part, everybody. We're going to get to the fun part here in a minute. But I wanted everybody to know what I'm setting up and why. And again, I haven't determined an ECW champion yet. So I'm actually going to use this red belt here. So I'm just going to, for right now, just to have a little placeholder. We're gonna laugh and put Al Snow on that. And now we're going to go ahead and add our participants. So ECW, I'm gonna go through some of the old school guys first that I already have downloaded. I have 20 downloads available today. We're going to see where we need guys. And right now, I'm not going to add anybody from Bullet Club, anything like that. I'm going to let those guys sit in Ring of Honor and then kind of see how the rosters shake out. Go ahead and add Al Snow. ECW original there for sure. Bam Bam Bigelow. He was great matches in ECW. So many guys on here, and I still have about 70 to download. So we're going to have a lot going on. We're going to add Cactus Jack. I mean, ECW, Extreme Wrestling is what Cactus Jack is all about, right? I actually think this is, well, we'll have CM Punk do his Ring of Honor stint. Devon, and I probably missed Bubba Ray here. We're going to go ahead and add Eddie Guerrero. Really just trying to find anybody that had real good ties to ECW. Reason to be on there. And then as the years move on, we're going to have guys move in and out of each organization as would be expected. ECW is looking like it might be a little thin, but we will fill that in for sure today and throughout the next few days with the 20 downloads. We'll go ahead and throw Mosh and Thrasher there for now, just to fill it up a little bit. Like I said, you guys are kind of getting the full experience here, going stream of consciousness, and just letting you guys see kind of how I go about setting up my universe. I got Sabu already downloaded. Sandman. I mean, about as good as you can get in ECW. We're obviously going to need Tommy Dreamer. Probably looking at Public Enemy, guys like that. For download. Targeting downloads here. We're also going to go ahead and probably be close to done here. So yeah, we're gonna spend a lot of our download time on ECW today. Yeah, 10 participants is not quite cutting it. ECW is always going to be a little smaller, so I like to cut their matches to 5. A little bit different flavor that night. And we're going to go ahead and have Ring of Honor on Saturday night. Got plenty of guys for Ring of Honor, so this should fill up a lot better. I just saw a message from Black Lord. I'll go ahead and add you here in a little bit as I go through this. I'm just going to finish out this, and when I get to that later, I will definitely go ahead and add you. I appreciate you reaching out. I was just typing in Ring of Honor here. Let's see what kind of music we want for Ring of Honor. I don't even think it matters. I think I might turn those entrance videos off, except for the pay-per-views. Go back in and turn them on. I can't sit through it every week we go to play. All right, let's just go with some underground. Ring of Honor's still underground, right? We're gonna go with the referee. Let's go with Let's go ahead and use the ECW. It doesn't have any markings. That'd be good for Ring of Honor. Commentary, again, general purpose. I wish they had some, maybe like an independent style, something like that, but the game's definitely made some leaps and bounds here. Again, custom arenas. I should have a Ring of Honor downloaded. Ring of Honor 2017 arena. For the matchup screen, let's go ahead and pick this Legend. Kind of looks like how, you know what, I'm liking this one better. Spark, definitely my Ring of Honor choice here. I'm going to pick red. And then we're going to pick that for everything. This way, have some sort of flow to our broadcast. And if anybody ends up with suggestions, feel free to let me know. If you want me to maybe create another one of these with some of the other promotions out there. I'm going to lose it every time. For our show load on this one, I'm going to use Elements. And I'm going to create a video for Ring of Honor. But again, we're just getting in, kind of playing with it today. And as we work through this, I'll give you guys more steps on how to really make your universe something that stands out. And it's for your personal use. Nothing, worried about YouTube, anything like that. I just want you guys to be able to make the best of the game. Looking for anything really that'll work for Ring of Honor here. I get a wrestling ring on a wrestling game. Is that too much to ask? Well, let's go with this one. Like I said, we're going to change that up with a video at some point. We're going to use a custom image for our watermark now. Perfect. Ring of Honor is right there for me. And apply that. That in position A. And do the same thing for this. So you guys can see now, we're going to have a Ring of Honor show set. Oh my goodness. I thought I was setting up, I saw that ECW referee. I almost had a panic attack. I set up the wrong thing. Hope you guys don't mind a little bit of chewing here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and add our participants. Like I said, we're going to have a much more robust Ring of Honor than we did in the in ECW. So we're going to make our downloads today, ECW. Adam Cole, I'm going to keep in NXT. Alberto Del Rio, even though he's TNA right now, he's going to go over to Ring of Honor since it's going to be our only landing spot for him. Austin Aries, definitely going Ring of Honor. Very disappointed in Austin Aries' run in WWE. Obviously, the eye socket injury was not great for him, but I do think that moving forward, if he was to come back and get a better role, maybe he would be awesome on SmackDown right now in the mix for the U.S. title. There's not a lot going on here, especially with this bum Baron Corbin running around with that title right now. But we'll talk more in regards to that as I go through the universe. So we're just looking for Ring of Honor guys here to add. I just scroll through, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Obviously, Brian Kendrick had a big career in Ring of Honor, but what I'm waiting for him with is going through 205 Live probably for a year as I move some guys in and out. CM Punk, Ring of Honor. Christopher Daniels as well. Cody Rhodes. Like I said, this is going to be a really robust roster. Dalton Castle. I'm going to use Daniel Bryan in Ring of Honor as well, since we all know that's where he's going to end up. I'm going to go ahead and add James Storm as well. Again, I'm going to use some of the TNA guys, New Japan guys to fill out the ECW and and Ring of Honor rosters. And James Storm may work better in ECW as well. Hard not to put Gargano in ROH as well as Ono. Obviously, Chris Hero is his most known character. I'm going to go ahead and add this Kenny Omega. I think it was the best one I've gotten so far. I'm going to add Kazuchika Okada. Marty Scurll, Matt and Nick Jackson. Actually going to go ahead and add Neville as well. As we know, he's on his outs with the WWE at the moment, and I think Ring of Honor or New Japan is going to be his ultimate landing spot. Tongaloa and Tama Tonga. I think I'm going to end up using this one with the face paint just to match up for the tag team purposes. But I'll always have this one on the side as well, unless we run out of download spots. Will Ospreay. Alright, so that gives us 17 in Ring of Honor already, and that's, like I said, I'm going to have about 80 more downloads between ECW, WCW, and Ring of Honor to round out these rosters. We're going to do a number of matches of 5 in Ring of Honor as well. I'm going to go ahead right now and just make the ECW Championship the Ring of Honor as well. Just a placeholder until we go ahead and download our Ring of Honor titles, which is going to take me a couple days because of the 20 download per day limit. The final one that I'm going to set up here now, and we'll come back in about 20 minutes with the tutorial on the downloads, is going to be, we're actually going to use SmackDown as a major. I know I said I'm not going to use the United States title, but I'm going to make this the home of the Cruiserweights and of SmackDown. And when I need to, I'll just switch the to 205 Live maybe for a night, and use that arena for some of the maybe a night more focused on the Cruiserweights. So we're going to go ahead, WWE SmackDown. I got Boys in the Hood playing in my ear here. Gotta love the soundtrack The Rock came up with for a game geared towards kids. Not the best song to be playing here, but whatever The Rock's got to do, he makes the calls, I guess. So we're gonna use a standard WWE referee. I'm gonna use a different one just to mix it up a little bit. Go into matchup screens. Oh, not Backlash. It looked like SmackDown. And go ahead and pick SmackDown here. Quite a few different choices for SmackDown, apparently. Got the old SmackDown, last year's SmackDown, and current SmackDown. We're going to use current SmackDown now. Again, just so pumped for tonight's matchup with Finn Balor and AJ Styles. So just getting my universe underway here. Like I said, this is really just kind of introducing myself to you guys. Again, I'm Scoop Dan. Been playing WWE games since as long as I've been alive. and really like the universe aspect. Of course, I wish, like a lot of us do, that there was more to this, but use this to my advantage, build it up as much as I can, and even as an adult, still a place where I can use my imagination and build up a nice something fun to play. It's not something I play all the time. I'm really big into Madden Ultimate Team, NBA 2K18. But setting this up this way, I think really makes it a fun way to play. Having Ring of Honor, ECW, WCW, having the old school, having the new guys, and really using all 200 people in the game. Plus the 100 downloads, so 300 people in the game. I'm going to go ahead and use the World Championship on this one. For right now, I am going to make a custom U.S. title, but I'm going to make the WWE United States Championship the main title, and the singles title I'm going to go ahead and make the Cruiserweight Championship. We're not going to have a tag title on SmackDown Live and or a women's title. We're going to focus that on the United States title, so maybe some of your tweener, non-main event guys, and your Cruiserweight Championship. Oh, and I didn't add participants, so we're going to go ahead and add the guys to SmackDown. So again, your tweeners, Aiden English, and your Cruiserweights, so Tozawa, Apollo Crews, definition of a tweener. Why he's on Raw, I will never understand. He wastes about 15 minutes of my time every Monday night. Baron Corbin, clearly U.S. title right now, and I don't want him anywhere near Raw. I think we'll go ahead and add Big Cass. We're going to go ahead and add, I think Bobby Roode for right now. I'll have him move up to Raw soon enough. Brian Kendrick for 205 Live. Or he might go to NXT by the time I'm done with this thing. Curtis Axel. I think with his Miz Taraj involvement, right? Let mama eat her. Okay, knock on the door, but let mama eat. Well, it said I had gone off air, but apparently I am still on air. Now that I got that set up, I'm going to go ahead and take a break here and actually go ahead and set up my. I'm gonna eat lunch and then I'm gonna come back and set up more of my custom championships. That way I can fill this out, and we're gonna have some matches to determine who the champions are. So with my WWE only having one heavyweight champion, I plan on having Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. The Intercontinental title is going to be on the line as well. We're going to have a Usos versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose tag team title match, and then we're going to have ways to determine all of our other champions as well. WCW, heavyweight champion, United States champion, tag champions, and we're gonna see. We're gonna delve into the WWE universe here. Appreciate you guys watching this first one, and look forward to being on here again in a little bit.